'Cause every day with you is the best day of my life. That tux is looking good and this wedding ring is nice. If I could be honest, forever's looking bright. Every day with you is the next best day of my life. It's the next best day of my life. Ben's got the baseline ready. The boys straightening up their ties. The flock girl's dress is muddy, but I can't help but smile. The preacher's at the front patiently waiting, while I'm dreaming when we're old and gray. The pictures from today will all be faded, but I still feel this way. 'Cause every day with you is the best day of my life. That tux is looking good and this wedding ring is nice. If I could be honest, forever's looking bright. 'Cause every day with you is the next best day of my life. It's the next best day of my life. Yeah, the next best day. Don't care if no one else believes me. I know exactly how I feel. Our love is all the proof of me. Can't convince me that this isn't real. Every day with you is the best day of my life. If I could be honest, the future's looking bright. 'Cause every day with you is the next best day. Every day with you is the next best day. Every day with you is the next best day.
네 명의 연주가 끝난 후 사회자 안내에 따라 로비로 이동하시면 되겠습니다.
하나 저거.
네가 안 사고 배겨 이런 느낌인데.
여기에서 보고 요걸 찾는 것보단 여기에서 이걸 보고 여기에서 찾는 게 편한 것 같아. 다 맞췄다! 요 바다랑 하늘 진짜 어려웠어. 바다랑 하늘 무슨 이거 물결 보고 맞춰야 돼. 잠깐만 기다려요. 저 됐어요. 구했어요.
Can hear every note of your heart sings like a choir of bells on the hallway. Oh, can't you tell? There's a place deep in our hearts where it matters. We can stay there forever and after. Written in stars, red above where we are. I hope you don't mind if I say that I love you. Every day another high do. You know I
한 입 먹어보겠습니다.
감사합니다.
눈 감고 흑백 요리사처럼.
이슬 좀 더 줄까?
아니 천천히.
이제 없어서.
아빠 거 되게 잘 된다. 오, 내 것도 잘 돼.
엄마 거야?
엄마 거 어때? 조금 탔나?
아니야 괜찮아. 조금 그냥 아까 그렇게 먹고 고구마 먹고
먹지 마시네.